talk to me quick. I'm
Brian Spencer.
Brian, tell me what happened.
Well, I wasn't here. It was my wife and daughter. They came to Walmart to go buy a birthday gift for a birthday party tomorrow, and I guess she was parking the car. There was she heard the carts banging right next to her, so she thought the carts were in the way. So she got out to move the carts, and then got back in the truck to finish parking it. Was it? Yeah, finished parking, and as she got into the truck to finish parking it, a guy came with a gun, just opened the door and yanked her out of the truck, threw her out, and started driving off. So, and the scariest part was my daughter was in the back. So my wife started screaming that my daughter's in the back. My daughter, let her out. And I guess he started to drive off, and he came to a stop, whatever. So she chased down the truck and opened the door, trying to get.
I opened the door right away when he started driving off because I didn't know if he knew she was in there.
Could you hand it over to her where I can hear you?
He started to drive off with my daughter.
I'm sorry. Apologize for that delay.
Okay.
Because I promise I wouldn't keep it long. Would you repeat that, ma'am?
I said he started to drive off, but I knew my daughter was in there, and I didn't know if he knew there was anybody else in there. I thought he might let her out if he could just take the truck. So I opened the door right away before he could start driving off. I was glad he didn't lock it because I thought he might, but he didn't. And so I opened the door, and I was like, my daughter's in there. Let me get her out. And as I was going to open the second door to let her out, but he just shut the door really fast and then took off some more. But I was able to catch up a second time and try to open the door again. But this time he might have locked it, or I don't know, he wasn't listening. So I finally just started screaming, my daughter's in there, my daughter's in there. And when he gunned the truck to come around the corners, people started hearing me, and they were like, do you know him? And I said, no, I don't know him. And that's when people started using their phones. And at that point I couldn't catch up anymore. So he took off with my daughter in there, and I just started yelling that he has my daughter. And I started calling 911 along with everybody else, and that's when. So
you was able to get finally when they stopped, you were able to get the door open?
No, there's a man.
What happened is he came around the corner, I guess, and he got caught behind. He came around the corner and got caught behind another car, and as he got stopped by another car. So another guy chased him down, and he opened the door and let my daughter out at that time.
Oh my gosh! I had a lot of people helping me. There's a second red truck that chased.
Could you hand the mic back over to her? I'm sorry.
There's a second car that chased. There was one car that chased him down until he let my daughter out of the car, and then there was a second truck that chased him down to the Hardy Toll Road or something like that, down at I-45 North, he said, somewhere, and I don't know where they lost him, but hopefully they'll catch him. I don't know, but I'm glad I got my daughter back. That was what I wanted.
Was it one person or two people?
There was a car next to me that crashed.
One person that took the truck, but they drove up in a car right next to. They pulled up in a car right next to the truck, and he jumped out of the passenger side.
So he was working something.
I think there were two people. Yeah, the SUV crashed into the carts before I could move them. So that's when I got back in my truck to try and just park or move out of the way or whatever. I thought it was a crazy person ramming a car ramming the carts with their truck, and that's when I didn't realize what was going on until he decided to open my door at that point and get me out of the car. So I just thought he was going to park next to me at first until he started crashing the carts, and then I got scared and ran back into my truck. But I didn't think about locking it or anything. At that point I still thought that you were just moving the carts out of the way, but just a little more forcefully with the car instead of with by hand like I was going to do. So there was probably been two people, because one guy was driving a second car that would, crash the carts, and then some other guy, or maybe it was the same guy, but I think it was the second guy because there's no car down there now that would have been parked by the carts. So that guy got out of the truck and rescued me out of my truck and then took off. And I think the other guy probably took off after him to probably meet up with him later. I don't know.
Were you on the way out? You were coming out?
No, I was coming in. I was about to park to go in. Yeah, it was still early enough that I thought, but I could get a present real quick before I put my daughter to bed.
No, hang on just a second. I'm sorry. Let me get this thing where to be quiet. I apologize. May I, since she's a juvenile, may I do a shot of your daughter? Or maybe just her hands if you don't want to show her face. Is that okay? Hopefully we can catch these. catchy.
Yeah, I guess so. You can do her face. You want to be on You want to talk?
Do you guys live here in a general area?
Yeah, we do.
And he got away, took your truck. And is that the one they're looking for now?
What's that?
They got your truck, and that's the one.
Yeah,
they're
they got my
looking for
truck.
now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How does this make you guys feel? I mean, just right here at Walmart. Is it sort of a scary ordeal?
Yeah. Stuff you hear on the news all the time, but you don't think will ever happen to you.
I'm so glad that you guys are okay. Does she want to say anything?
Do you want to say something?
Yeah.
What do you want to say?
What were you thinking?
I was saying that he told me to get out, so I said okay, and I started crying, so he just pulled me out and then just opened the door and threw me out. So I landed on my hands, and then he just took off I just saw him took off.
How old is your daughter?
She's 7.
7. Okay. Okay. Let me call you right back, Jack.
Yeah, Lieutenant R.A. Henry, Henry, Harris County Sheriff's Office.
Tell me, Sergeant, a little bit about what happened here a few minutes ago.
About 7:45 p.m., 2 black male suspects in a vehicle drove into the Walmart here at Louetta and Interstate-45 North. A lady and her 7-year-old daughter were loading groceries into their car, and the suspects pulled up to the lady and rammed the basket that she was pushing, and then grabbed her, pulled her out of the vehicle, and stole the car from her. As they're trying to drive away in the vehicle, they noticed that the 7-year-old child was in the vehicle in a car seat, and so the suspects drove across the parking lot and then took the child and just threw them out of the vehicle onto the pavement. The child sustained some minor injuries, and the mother tried to grab onto the vehicle as it was leaving, and she sustained some minor injuries as well. Both of them have been checked by EMS, and they're okay.
Any idea on suspect information that we can put out or anything? License of the vehicle they stole?
We're still developing the vehicle information that they were in. It was a black SUV the suspects were driving, and the vehicle that was stolen was a maroon pickup, and we're developing license information. Now we're conducting an investigation and looking for the vehicles.
If anybody has any information, what should they do?
Yeah, any information, call Crime Stoppers or call the Harris County Sheriff's Office about this incident.
General area, Sergeant, it seems to be like an increase in crime in North Harris County. Any input or why you think that may be taking place?
You know, there's crime all over. Every major metropolitan city and suburb experiences crime. It's not really disproportionate for this area of the county. We have a very good law enforcement presence here, and we try to take care of our business. So it's not just North Harris County, it's everywhere in every major metropolitan city.
People just need to be on guard and pay attention to what's around their surroundings.
They do. When you're shopping, you know, use to enhance observation about what's around you. Try to park close if you can. Try to limit the number of packages you carry out. Have your keys in your hand. If you have a small child with you, keep them close to you. And if something is unusual or looks suspicious, don't enter your vehicle. Turn around and go back to the store. You may also want to use the panic button, the horn honking button that's on your key remote. Any of those things would alert people around you that something's wrong and you may need help.
Your name and position?
Lieutenant Robert Henry, Harris County Sheriff's Office.